Okay, hi guys. Thanks for joining me for our little chat. I thought it'd be a good idea for us to talk about all things black, things that we love about being black and how we can sort of celebrate our culture to mark this Black History Month. So I think best off to start with where everyone's from, what your heritage is. So for me, I'm Nigerian, I was born there, moved to the UK when I was 3. Both my parents are Nigerian and I'm a very proud dual citizen, being British and Nigerian. What about you, bro?
So I was born in Bristol, England. My dad is from Jamaica, so his mum, his dad, all from Jamaica. Then they moved over, and then had him. My mum's English from Birmingham, so yeah.
Nice. What are you, Danny?
So I'm mixed heritage. My dad's Nigerian. All of my dad's family's Nigerian, and then my mum's half Italian and Welsh. I was born in Cardiff. So yeah,
What mix?
I've got quite a lot of different cultures to include. Yeah.
Love that. Chris?
Nigerian, through and through. Like, whenever someone says, where are you from? Like, Nigerian. But I was born in London, so yeah. Both my parents are Nigerian, but it's very much the side that I like to claim.
Yeah. What about you, Bo?
Same as Ro, I'm British and Jamaican, so dad's white and English and my mum's Jamaican.
Nice.
So yeah, same. I strongly identify with my Jamaican side.
Yes,
I'd say more than my English, but yeah, proud of who I am.
We love that. So what are your favourite things about your culture?
Food. I'll just go ahead and say, I'll go ahead and say that. It's food is number one for sure. Jollof rice, plantain, like...
Plantain. She said it right. She said it correctly. Let's not start this. Let's not start this. Let's not start this. She said it correctly.
I don't want to dislike
said it
anyone that's
correctly.
plantain, but it's fine. Whatever you say.
But yeah, no, my parents live in Nigeria, so I don't get a lot of exposure to Nigerian food. So whenever my mum does come over, I'm like, yes, can you make this, that? And yeah, it's great. So.
Same with me as well. Like, anytime I see my mum, I'm like, hey, mum, how much food have you got for me? And like, if I was to make my death row meal, it's all Nigerian food. Like, and I'm going to Nigeria in a couple of weeks. So if I come back 10 kilos heavier, everyone mind your business.
Yeah. Bring the meat pie, please, on the way back.
What about you guys?
So my dad's wife, she tried to teach me to cook jollof. So hands up, I can't cook rice. I cannot cook rice, but yeah, she made me jollof and she made me hen.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was eye-opening and I am convert. Absolute convert. All the food for sure.
What about our Caribbean gals, our island gals?
Yeah, I see the music and like...
Island gal.
Like, you can hear me down the street with my phone.
We know. We know.
You can hear you
Clark's is playing. Now it's done. It's finished.
And the car's turning up to HMC.
You don't even need to look, you're like, Bo's here.
Yeah.
Or like when it's like post-training, there's changing rooms. And as soon as I hear a speaker put on, I'm like, Bo.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like you should be definitely the music person.
Yeah.
Like game day. That would hype me right up.
So it sounds like a lot of us are either mixed heritage or are like first gen living in the UK but having parents who are from, our native cultures. So how do you guys find balancing, living in this environment with your culture? Because I know I found it quite difficult when I was being raised by 2 Nigerian parents who had certain experiences and expectations of me based from back home versus the stuff that you're sort of seeing in and around you, like at school and stuff. So how did you guys find balance in that?
I think me personally, I actually think I didn't really have much expectation. I think because I like sport, they were just like, oh, you go to you. It doesn't really matter what else. They were happy for me to do whatever. But like, I work at a school, so I know like some kids find it really, really hard because their parents are expecting them to become, I don't know, doctors, scientists, and actually they don't want that. They just want to I don't know, be a cook or play sport. So luckily I didn't experience that. But then I know, obviously, working in a school, I know a lot of kids that do experience that and like find it really, really difficult.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think what I found with my family and like my experiences, I think especially as I call myself the guinea pig because I'm the oldest of 4 and we moved here, so everything that happened to me was new. And so for my parents, there was a lot of like anxiety around, you're in a new country, a new culture, you like everything that's happening is like you know, is this the best thing for her? Like, is this an environment that she's going to be good in and stuff like that? And so a lot of it was laced with like anxiety, really. But then when they realised, like, oh, it's not actually that bad, you know, like it's all right. But like, you know, I think about like my mum didn't let me wear makeup till I was 18, and then like she actually realised like it was fine. So like my sisters have been fine, and I was just like.
I think that's the worst as well, being the oldest.
Yeah.
I think does get experience. Like, now, I'm the oldest, and my little sister, who's like, 16 now, she gets away with murder. I don't understand. And I'm like, I couldn't do half the things that she did. I would not be here right now if that happened. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just like, but hey, you know.
I'm saying facts, but
home.
a lot of it is a transition.
Yeah.
So I'm third. So, like you said, you're the guinea pig. I think maybe my sister was the guinea pig, then my brother, and then me. And I feel like I was born and raised in London, so it's very multicultural. There were a lot of Nigerian people around me, aunties, uncles, family, friends, but not just family, but the people that you see in school. Like, there were a lot of people that I could relate to and connect to. If whatever I'm going through inside my house, I know that that person's going through inside their house as well. So, yeah, if my parents are like to me, face your books, make sure you go to school at this time, you got a curfew for this time, and I'm looking at all the other kids, Jamaican kids or white kids or people with different heritage, and I'm just like, you guys get to be out, but I know that all the other Nigerian kids also have a curfew. So,
so we're all walking home together.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's wrap this all up.
Exactly. It was never a thing when I was in London where I felt like alone and nobody else was experiencing what I was as well, just because I went to school with a lot of Nigerian girls. So, yeah.
What about you, Bo? Like, what was it like for you? Were you raised in Bristol?
Yeah, so I was raised by like a single mother, so she had like a very like traditional Jamaican upbringing, like multiple siblings living under one roof. Like, they'd live in a 2-bedroom house, and there's like 7 of them. Like, like 3 of them are sharing a bed.
Yeah.
And like that's quite like a, maybe not stereotypical, but like from like Jamaican culture, it was just she had so much like expectation put on her as a child, like how to behave, how you act. So when she had me and my brother, it was kind of like she didn't want that for us. So I think we had a very different upbringing to, I guess, a stereotypical like Jamaican household. Like, I was kind of like a rebel child. I was always like doing what I wanted, like. And I, not like anything crazy, because don't get me wrong, like there were still standards, boundaries. Like, there was just a look, like you just that look. I just thought, please.
We all know that look.
Yeah. But I don't know. I found it kind of difficult. Like, I grew up and went to like a very white Catholic primary school and secondary school. Like, I didn't have black friends till college. Didn't have a clue about hair. Yeah. Didn't have a clue about how to like maintain my hair. And like, obviously you're surrounded by girls going, straighten it. And like, obviously I didn't, but it was difficult finding an identity until I think I went to college. Yeah. But then after that, and like the internet as well, like I kind of knew like where my place was.
And that's so interesting you say like finding your identity, because similar to you, like I grew up in a very white environment. I had my one black friend that went to my school, and that was about it until I got to uni. And I remember distinctly feeling like just that I didn't fit in, but I always put that onus on me, like, why don't I fit in with, like, why am I so different to everyone around me? And like, you don't want to make it about race, but it does play such a big factor, like your culture, you know, managing your hair, like your expectations, like even like my physique and my genetics, like my genetic pool is just that I'm more muscular. So like even dealing with stuff like that, I just couldn't make sense of why I felt like I stuck out so much until I then got to uni and sort of like broadened my horizons and met people from different cultures or people who are more similar to me. And then I was like, oh, it's just this, we're just different. Not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just the difference. And like speaking about hair, like obviously Danny, you wear your hair in dreads, which I love, but you know, I recall a lot of times, especially in popular culture, like there's so much negative stereotypes around people who wear their hair in dreadlocks. Is that anything that you've like experienced?
Absolutely. I think when I decided, because I was kind of the same as Bo in terms of figuring out how to deal with my hair. My mum did her best. My mum really did do her best, but I wanted to straighten it, I wanted to colour it, and eventually as I kind of grew out of that, I come to the decision that I wanted locks playing rugby. It was the best way to keep true to my afro hair whilst being able to grow it and keep it healthy, or that was the decision that I took anyway. But yeah, it's been a journey because I had to really consider the implications. I mean, let's be realistic. Like you said, there are implications. I had to consider, the work aspect. Obviously had to consider rugby. How am I going to react if one of my locks gets pulled out accidentally?
Yeah.
It's happened.
Oh,
It's
God.
happened. Thankfully, I could reattach it. But yeah, it was a journey. But I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a journey that made me even more comfortable in my blackness as well, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, really positive experience. And just to put the plug out there, everyone who's considering should get locks. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I love that. And like, I remember before I cut my hair, like braids were always my go-to style
Yeah.
because I just
Oh,
felt,
I love me some braids.
I felt just, it felt like it reflected me in the best way. Like I always, I like, wigs and weaves, and I tried them and, tried like relaxing my hair and stuff like that. But something about braids just made me feel like it was very true to my culture. And it was, me with braids prior to cutting my hair is like me in my most comfortable form.
Yeah.
But I think, with my hair short now, I've gotten used to it, and like I get the same feeling of like authenticity and just like it feels right for me and how I want to present myself to the world. Like I never want to shy away from my blackness and, representing my Nigerian side and like my heritage whenever I'm out in public. So yeah, I know you've got short hair.
I know. I used to love some braids as well. Don't get me wrong, yeah. No, when I was younger, I relaxed my hair a lot. And then it was only until I got to uni that I was like, let me put my hair in braids just because I can't maintain it being relaxed, going away to uni for a few months and then coming back, and there's just a lot of regrowth and I have to rely on my sister to do it and stuff. So we put it in braids, and I must have come back home from uni one month and I saw what my natural texture looked like after I would washed my hair, and I was like, whoa. Like I hadn't seen it. I couldn't recall the time where I actually saw what my texture looked like. So I was like, you know what, let's try something. And I left it for a little bit and I was like, okay, I'm kind of liking this. And then I just cut all of the relaxed ends off and that was it. I was natural from there. So I loved my afro when I had it. Braids as well, I think it was a great way for me to express myself with different styles. I didn't really branch out in terms of colours, but I liked the box braids, the knotless, the all backs, the cane rows. Like I loved it all, and I felt like it made me feel good. And I learnt a lot about my identity from what I saw on social media. And I'm like, all of these black women are beautiful, and they've all got braids.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I'm gonna do that for myself as well. So, that started, and then obviously I lost my hair, and then I was like, I think I was very attached to my afro because I'm like, I held a lot of my identity to it. Yeah. I never considered ever cutting my hair. I definitely considered locking my hair. But I held so much weight on it and so much of me in my hair, which you can lose, you can cut, it will grow back. Like you can do whatever it is, you can dye it, you can cut it, you can do so much stuff to it, and it doesn't define who you are as a person. So yeah, of course, after I lost it, wasn't great, but I was like, you know what, hey ho, whatever. And I'm starting to embrace what it is now, and I actually quite like it.
I love it.
Love it.
I was going to say, I was like, this is a big vibe.
Yeah.
Big vibe.
And then, dyed it, and I feel really good and really confident. And I never imagined myself feeling confident with short hair because naturally the perception is short hair, masculine. But I feel like, I feel good. I feel like my feminine energy comes out in the way that I style my hair, and the masculine side of me as well. Yeah. So I'm appreciating the balance a lot more.
But also, like, so my mum, for as long as I can remember, has always had short hair, and she's very feminine. She gets dressed up at any given occasion. Like, we'll go to church and she's in like these big heels, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, so I've always had that as a role model, like as an example that, like you say, hair doesn't define, who you are, where you're from, but it should be a reflection of you. And I think back to sort of when I go back to Nigeria and stuff, like it's such a cultural thing. Like a lot of women just have short hair, and it's, it's very like accepted, and there's no sort of negative connotations around it. And so I've really enjoyed having short hair now as well, because it just makes me feel closer to like my culture. And even though like I cut my hair my hair got cut for different reasons to you losing your hair, but like I think it's quite nice that we've been able to be on like this sort of glow up journey together.
Yeah, literally. And it just means that I don't have to worry about maintaining it. In that sort of way, you know. Like it takes me 5 minutes to wash my hair now, and I'm like, yes,
You are
yeah, exactly.
I love that for me.
Whereas before, like, I'm like, okay, I have to set aside.
It's wash day.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not doing anything. It's wash day.
Exactly. But yeah, no, I like what I see in the mirror with short hair, and I never thought that I could get to a space where I'd feel like that. I don't think I could say that I would have chosen to cut my hair ever, maybe. But I didn't realise how, I don't know, throwaway hair is. Because like you said, even though you can represent yourself through it, it's not you, it doesn't define you. So, yeah.
Any more on hair before I think we
talk
to me about hair?
So my mum is fantastic at doing so I've got 3 sisters, 1 brother, 2 sisters, 1 brother, and she did her hair growing up, fantastic, all different styles, all different, everything you can think of, she did it. But I remember I was like, I've never had my hair cut. I'm 25 years old, I've never had my hair cut. Yeah, and my mum was like, I was like, why did you never take me to get my hair cut? And she was like, oh, because your grandma, she's from Jamaica, she was like, you can't let anyone touch your hair. They'll cut it all off and it won't grow back. She's like, only people in Jamaica can cut your hair. And she was very much as in like, no one in England can touch your hair. And I was just like, but what, I need it cut. No one. My mum was like, fine, like she's telling me no one cut your hair, no one cut your hair, like sorry. So I remember when I was younger, I used to like snip little bits off just to hopefully it'll grow back. But still to this day I still haven't like cut. But I think it's because I don't know much about my hair and like the texture, all that, I don't know that stuff. I just go with the flow, whatever works, whatever doesn't. And like I get it in I get like natural braids, so I get my hair done in braids, and I love it. I love my hairs like that. It's like my favorite type of hair. But I feel like now that I'm 25, I should maybe go get my hair cut. So I'll have to hit all of you up for like some help, because
I'm still waiting for you to let Bo do your edges.
It's not happening.
That's what I'm saying. I'm waiting on it.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for it.
Get the gummy, get the implant styler, and let's slick your edges back.
But I find it, thinking about the topic of hair, like one of the things that when I first went natural, it was because I was struggling to find people who could braid my hair the way I wanted to when I did my year in Cardiff, which was like, it's like, so A, provision, but B, when, you guys who are mixed race, especially with like white mums, like imagine you're a white woman and you've got this child who needs their hair done, and it's a complete different texture to anything you've ever worked with. Like I have no idea how they're expected to manage.
I don't know how she did it, but she did. She's done fantastic.
Combine that with so few like barbers or like salons that like cater to black hair.
That's when my brother used to get his hair cut at my house. My dad used to cut his hair because he was like, well, you might not do it properly. I know how to do it, so let me just do it.
Yeah.
And it was just very much as we always got our hair done at home. Yeah. So
fair play, man. So I think to wrap up, what is your favourite thing about being black? Bo, we'll start with you.
My favourite thing. Well, I've got two.
Okay, you
I'd
can
say
have two.
my hair and my music. I love it. That is like, that connects me to my culture and like being back home.
I love that.
For me, it's the connection that you can have when you just see another black person across the street and you just give them a little, just the eye or the nod, or you're like, I see
you could be anywhere in the world, but like,
you just know, that look.
And you can respect no matter where you go.
Exactly. And for me, like when I came to Bristol with you, I feel like I gravitated very quickly and closely towards you. Like, I feel like you're my sister, and there's honestly like there's a very close connection that you get with women, black women that look like you, that represent you, and that you see yourself in. And like I said before, I did a lot of my learnings about my blackness on social media. But you're almost like a real life version of what I've been seeing online, and what I'm seeing is like, yes, that's black, that's beautiful. Like, I'm admiring what I'm seeing. So just the natural connection that you have with people that you can share your heritage and your culture and your background with. I think that's my favourite part.
100%, man. Danny?
I think community, like you say, you know, you always know you're going to be accepted. There's always going to be someone there that can help you out. Words of advice, even a little bit of a cuddle, you know. When you know, you know.
When you know, you know. Speak on it. Roro.
I think just like being confident, being black, like being able to inspire, like, you know, younger children who may actually feel a bit insecure about the way they look, about their hair, about how dark or light they are. I feel like just being able to like just be stress free and actually be like, look at me, I'm great, we're all great. You know, you can be just as amazing as we are. You just be confident in who you are and, you know, your heritage and your culture and your background. So I think just being happy within myself, you know, and happy being who I am, and not being stressed, you know.
Love that, no stress.
Literally no stress ever.
I think for me it's like you guys have said, like the community feel, like the emphasis, I think particularly black people, black culture, on family and like, you know, staying connected to who you are. And because a lot of us are sort of, you know, immigrants, it's the big emphasis on, you know, staying rooted with who you are and not forgetting, you know, I've got loads of family still back in Nigeria and stuff like that. So it's really difficult then to dilute down that side of yourself, even though you're not in that environment anymore. And so I just love that feeling of being like enriched almost with like my culture and you know, my family, and then meeting people who share those experiences with you and have similar upbringings or face similar challenges. And, you know, it's so nice however many years down the line now to come to training and see so many like black people. When I first started, it was me and you.
Yeah, I literally remember turning up and I was like,
it was me and you. And Ro was here before me, so I was like,
I was
how you did it. She was
and now
flying the flag.
it makes me so happy to see how many more like there is of us. Do you know what I mean? Like where it was just us riding solo. Simi came along, I was like, oh, cool, I've got someone now.
Facts.
It's like, you know, we're such a diverse team, and it makes me happy to see so many people, and then being able then like for fans and people like who want to look into the sport and see like not everyone has to be white to play rugby. Do you know what I mean? You can be any colour, any size, anything, and you can play and be amazing.
100%.
So,
And even like with newer people coming, when Danny, you came, and like the youngsters, like just being so aware of like what Chris was saying, that as a black person, seeing another black person, like you're automatically going to gravitate towards them just because that's someone you feel more comfortable, or someone who's going to understand your vernacular, your humour, like things like that a bit better. So, you know, I make it a conscious effort to, especially with the black girls, try and like be that friendly face and like that port of call, because it takes you a while to get comfortable in this kind of big environment with big names and, you know, the high pressure nature of it all. So, yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing, and I'm really glad we've been able to chat and celebrate our blackness.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
It's been great. But I just want to, one last thing, it's planting, not planting.
Liar.
Oh, no.
Liar.
Planting.
Liar.
No.
Wait, Danny, I think you're the deciding vote.
Come on, Danny. You know where.
You know where it's at. Let's go.
Let's go. We're done. Cut.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Plantain.
Never, ever.
I said Danny.
You hear that? Did you hear? Vote was not for me. Plantain.
Plantain.
Okay, so Dan will take my birth certificate off.
Excuse me?
Planting? No, I think not.